what I wanted to focus on today, what I've been sort of sharing with you all, it can be sort of like umbrellaed under yogic meditation. And so yogis would be, skinny, ash-covered Indian men from like the medieval India who were all about like mortifying the flesh to find the soul within. And as dramatic and mystical and esoteric and sort of distant from us as that sounds, I found that the intensity in which they believe in these ideas provides like ample inspiration for us to committedly work towards like the mystery and the magic of like what is consciousness and what am I really. And the beauty of like recovering some sense of that, some sense of an answer to that question, what am I really, I found enables us to live life more authentically. But there are a lot of different ways to approach this process. And Zen, right? So Zen is sort of like the mystic sect of Buddhism, approaches it with this finesse and almost this humor that sparks the essence of what meditation is about in an entirely different way. And so I'll have a little story, something like a joke to share, and just pay attention to your response. So a student asks a teacher, while the teacher is weighing flax, "Teacher, what is Buddha?" And the teacher responds, "The flax weighs 3 pounds." And that's it. And so it sort of hits the way the punchline of a joke hits, and we're left with this, sort of space where we're waiting for an answer. And that space in which we are waiting for an answer and sort of hyper alert and curious, that is meditation. That is the space in which we are trying to occupy when we're controlling our breaths. What's up? When we're controlling our breaths, when we're holding stillness, and when we're sort of embodying our posture. And so there's some other ideas coming from Zen that amplify this idea of emptiness. And so the analogy that I found most powerful through the Zen culture is the analogy of a finger pointing to a moon. So again, there is a master and there's a student. And the master is lovingly telling the student to look at the moon. And the master points to the moon. And the student can't help but fixate on the finger pointing to the moon. And the master has to iterate time and time again. Don't pay attention to the finger. That's not the point. The finger is only sort of guiding you to the experience. And what this means is that when we occupy our stillness in meditation, when we occupy our steady breath in meditation, when we're holding our posture in meditation, those techniques are only fingers pointing to the experience. And just understanding that it makes the experience more obvious and makes our attachment to the instructions and doing it right and doing it wrong more obvious as well. And so it sophisticates our entire relationship to the process. Make some sense? Cool. So I think we should just get right into it, and I'll continue to sort of guide the experience by using some Zen ideas, and hopefully through that your appreciation of nothingness, which is ultimately what Buddhism aims to represent and what yogi aims to express. Hopefully that experience of nothingness becomes more apparent to you. Cool. So let's get started, everyone. Happy you are here. Comfortable seated pose. And first, build your posture. So nice tall spine. Straighten your arms more than you're used to. Lift your chest more than you want to. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your chin down enough to feel a release in the back of your neck. Think about where the spine enters the base of the skull. Take a second to notice your symmetry from left to right. And let's get into our hands. So focus on your right hand and feel every fingertip specifically. And work to feel the buzz of electric impulses moving through the nerves or the flow of blood soaring through the capillaries. Slow down the breath. And it's interesting, when we pay attention to our bodies, new experiences emerge. It's interesting, we can feel these tingling anonymous sensations. Now bring the first finger that comes to mind to the thumb on the right hand and gauge, was that truly intuitive, or was it the same finger you always bring to the thumb? Transition to the left hand again. Scan the fingertips. Feel the subtle sensations. Isn't it interesting? When we pay attention, new experiences arise. Slow down the breath. Alrighty, very quickly, first finger that comes to mind, bring it to the thumb. Now fixate on your wrists, both hands, and feel your hands in these gestures, meaningful or meaningless. But try to imbue a sense of grace in the way your hands are touching or holding. Feel how delicate your fingers are touching your thumbs. And in that there is an ambiance of compassion, at least. And so you're projecting all of this into your hands, but it's real enough. Awesome, strong posture. Now commit to stillness. And now start to slow down your breath. Really slow it down today, more than you usually do. Relax your face. Now the fourth step, work to notice your thoughts. You might be thinking of other people. You might be thinking of yourself. You might be analyzing your meditation in real time. Remembering, fantasizing. And appreciate that the second you take the time to observe your thought process, it becomes very easy to push back. And as you push back the thoughts and the intellect, you have the opportunity to refocus on the sensations of your body. Come back to your breath. And when you come back to your breath, always the powerful choice, breathe more slowly. And so the core effort is to replace all thinking, all analysis, all psychological experience, including emotions, to replace that thought stuff with feeling, physically feeling the most immediate and internal sensations of the body. So one more time, notice that you are thinking. And when you become aware of your thought process, it is very easy to redirect your attention to feeling. Focus on the most obvious experience in your body, whether it's your hands, your chest, your nose, your forehead, your legs. Commit to that point for the duration of this practice. A few minutes in silence. Let's take an inhale together. And a slow exhale. You focus on the sensation. But notice you slipped into thinking. Let the steadiness and patience of your breath anchor you to the sensation of your choice. Gauge the intensity in which you are dissatisfied in this moment. The intensity of confusion, the intensity of impatience, the intensity of anxiety, the intensity of stress. And consider that these negative symptoms are the consequence of being separated from authentic presence and separated from the potential clarity of a focused mind. And as we learn to appreciate this stress as a sign, a signal telling us to become more present and to become more focused, stress itself becomes a tool. Through meditation, we sophisticate our relationship to that tool. Just let it happen. Slow down the breath. Hold your stillness. Push back the thoughts and feel. Now notice, while meditating, there is a fixation with right or wrong, a fixation with the process and the techniques. Your stillness is a finger pointing to the experience. So focus on your stillness and understand it's only pointing in a direction. Notice your posture. Your posture is only pointing in a direction. Notice your breath, pointing. And the act of pushing back the mind is also only pointing. Now come back to feeling and only feeling. Trust the process. A few minutes in silence. If you focus on the finger, you will miss the moon. Listen to the sounds around you. Consider your home. Contemplate your life. Appreciate life itself. And so now the mind is externalizing. Its vantage point is broader. And what I would like you to do is observe the natural occurrence of acceptance, the unique prevalence and accessibility of gratitude, inspiration, and excitement. Notice that these virtues aren't being generated, but recognized. Slow down the breath. Again, consider your life. Consider life itself. Consider your home. Consider this moment. And then observe the natural occurrence of virtue. Enthusiasm, gratitude, patience, acceptance. And notice it feels good. By sitting still, sitting upright, slowing down our breath, and pushing back the mind, the tension of our psyche is released like a clenched fist opening. And as the mental tension releases, we remember life is pretty good. And it's not just a thought, but it's embodied. Meditation is about dissolving, letting go, and undoing. So bring your hands to heart center, something like a prayer, even if this feels insincere or unnatural. Take a second to provoke your sincerity, testing your self-control. If you have true self-control, you can project or inject sincerity at will. Slow down the breath. And now we'll close with that same Zen Koan, that same Zen poem. A student asks his master, while the master weighs some flax, "Master, what is Buddha?" When we meditate, we all look for Buddha. Buddha is many things: happiness, strength, compassion, inspiration, balance, patience, peace, anything you want. Hence the validity of the question, what is Buddha? And the master responds, "This flax weighs 3 pounds. Meditation takes us nowhere. It pulls us into the ordinary. So again, in your final breaths, appreciate how mundane this moment is, but because something was released, something dissolved, this experience is heightened, its meaning empowered. It becomes something worth connecting with, something worth breathing in, something worth stopping the conveyor belt of our responsibilities for. Let's take one more inhale. All right, we do this for ourselves. One more exhale. And then release your wrists to your knees, boost up your posture. And as you open your eyes, repeat, "I'm no longer meditating." And notice the contrast between a meditative mind, a Buddha mind, an open, invisible psyche. And when we open our eyes, all of that stuff comes back on. We got things to do, places to go.